In this piece of coursework, you're going to look at how we control finance on a construction project. All of your work on this unit should relate to one of your designs. The best one to relate this to is your passive house design. You're going to be covering estimates for the project, how we submit tenders for a project, how we raise purchase order numbers and why these are important. We'll also look at good received notes and invoices. If you put yourself in the position of the client, you'll want to get about 3 different quotes for your construction job. This is called putting the project out to tender. Now, as the construction company tendering for a project, the quantity surveyor needs to estimate the amount of materials needed to enable the team to get the price right. There's various different ways they can do this. Remember, they've got to base their cost on the amount of manpower they need, the resources such as telehandlers, diggers, things like that, and then of course the materials that go into the construction project. They'll probably have a cost per meter from previous projects that'll help them estimate this, but they will draw up a material schedule or a schedule of works. The project buyer needs to get the best price for the materials and resources needed on the project. This is a balance between cost, quality, and dependability. They also have an ethical responsibility as well to make sure the materials and the labour aren't anything to do with slave labour or child labour. They will have some power of negotiation depending on the size of the project and future projects or historic projects. Very large projects where you're buying in great bulk, you should be able to negotiate costs down, whereas just a small housing project, you'll probably have to take a price offered. Once the price has been agreed, orders need to be placed. So the principal contractor will start drawing up orders. They'll raise a purchase order number against each one. This is a way of tracking their separate orders. We need to make sure that it's not the same person raising the orders and then paying the orders at the end of the day. Otherwise, people might be just ordering things off of friends and getting inflated prices. The order will be sent to the supplier. The supplier will provide the materials. They will then send an invoice to the head office, and the goods will then be delivered to the site. When the goods arrive at site, they'll come with a goods received note. This is a list of the materials. This should tally with the order that was issued by the principal contractor. In order to be able to match these quickly, you can refer to the purchase order number that was put on it. When we create purchase order numbers, they'll quite often refer to a specific subject. So in the example we've used here, PH would refer to passive house, 001 being the first one raised, and then numbers will just go up sequentially after that. Purchase order numbers and good received notes are important if goods go missing. That way you've got some sort of evidence that they were or weren't delivered on site and when they were delivered and who checked them in as well, making it easier to track lost orders. The client will control the flow of money to the principal contractor by having a contract in place. Within the contract, there'll be a list of stage payments. At each stage payment, money will be released to the principal contractor to allow them to move on to the next stage. These could be things like planning approved, getting the groundworks complete. On a high-rise block, there may well be a payment per floor completed. Quite common is for when the building's weatherproofed and contractors can move inside. Site handover, this is when the site is complete and handed over to the client, and snagging. This will be a period determined by the client and the principal contractor to look for faults. Things that can change the cost of things might be fluctuations in foreign currency. For example, if materials are coming from overseas, changes in exchange rates will change the cost. These are known as project variations.